What's groovy? You're in the Beat Sessions. I'm your host, Mitchell Weary. Let's talk about Liam Gallagher and his new record, Come On You Know. That was released on May 27th. This is the third solo outing for the former Oasis frontman and his follow-up to 2019's Why Me, Why Not? Not just an album title there. I feel like Why Me, Why Not is the mantra that Liam has just lived by throughout the entirety of his career. You look at where he's at right now, his ability to still pack a field at a festival. There's not too many artists that have gone through what he's gone through and can still do that. He fronts one of the biggest rock fits out there in Oasis, but then Noel Gallagher leaves. He's the primary songwriter in that band, and Oasis really wasn't anything until Noel came along. So there's a lot of people that argue that Liam A didn't bring that much to the table. I mean, he contributed a few songs on later albums, but he was not the primary songwriter. And his voice, I love it. I love the distinct quality of it. But as far as like its range and its technical ability, it's not that great. So I know a number of people who have just really ragged on this guy over the years. And maybe rightfully so. I can understand those opinions. The one that always just cracks me up is the fact that Noel and Liam always fought so much. And I know a lot of people that will not listen to Oasis because of that. It's like saying I don't listen to the Kinks because the Davies brothers don't get along. It's just there's no logic in your logic, in my opinion there. If it's good music, it's good music. And I would argue that Noel and Liam not getting along, even though Noel was doing most of the songwriting and it's credited to him, I would say that Liam, given what we've seen in his solo career and what he did with BDI, was there pushing him, was really always testing Noel and making sure that he was writing songs to the best of his ability. I think that these are two brothers that, you know, they really push themselves in a lot of really wonderful ways and a lot of very toxic ways. And that's just, it's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes as far as the artistic process. It can be very stressful, wanting to have your input, feeling that, enough of your contributions are there in a track. I can get why there's ego and why that becomes a problem. But I also feel that, Liam can still step up on stage and pack a punch because of that ego. I think he's still one of those kind of classic old school rock stars because of that ego. And while you may not like him for it, I think ultimately it's served him well creatively and just from the standpoint of his career and maintaining that longevity. It's, just look at that album cover. We'll pull that up. That's just from last year at the Reading Festival. I mean, he's almost 50 years old. He's just in the middle of that pit, a party machine. The man can throw a hell of a party, as we can all see. So I like that Andrew Wyatt is back. He's one of the main producers on this record. A lot of fingers at play on this thing. But Andrew Wyatt, he's been there for all three of Liam's solo projects. And I really feel like that, this record, we're seeing some growth as far as, trying to branch out from that Oasis sound, that kind of that 90s pop sound, and embracing maybe some of that other Brit pop over the years. Think of, sounds coming out of the 60s and 70s. There's definitely elements of chamber pop on this album, soft rock elements. This album has a great summer feel is what I'm really digging about it. He's going to tour in support of this thing this summer all over Europe. There's a couple dates in South America as well. And if you have a chance, I think that what these songs provide as far as like some mellow moments in the set, it's going to add some interesting contrast, and I think just make the sets more dynamic and more unique. He's one of those guys that, like I said, he's continuing to pack stadiums and pack fields at festivals, and he's really popular. That popularity has not waned, and I think that experimenting in this way and branching out, especially for the hardcore fans, they're really going to love this. But I think that there's some fans too that, they might not necessarily just like that two guitar, bass, and drum punch that he's always packed. And so some of the experimentalism on this record might appeal to a lot of fans that, might not otherwise play a Liam Gallagher record or an Oasis record or a BDI record. So I think that this record is worth push and play on, just to give it a go for those first few tracks. And if you're drawn in at that point, I'd say, listen to it through the end. This thing kicks off with more power. It's got this acoustic intro with the children's choir. I think it's a great way to kick this thing off. I love the way that Liam comes in with this gentle galloping drums. There's a great coda on this song, and there's a lot of big psychedelic feel, and that's where I'm getting a lot of that kind of just 60s and 70s feel on this record. But think of Velvet Underground, but also think of contemporary band like the Black Angels. There's good balance there as far as that that classic psychedelic feel balanced with a good contemporary feel. I'm really liking the production and the energy on that album opener. Diamond in the Dark is your second track. It's got this cool Black Keys style intro, great riff. I love the way this song fills out, and it ventures through this really interesting territory. It's intriguing the way that this song, it almost feels like there's so many moments where it's just going to blow up, but it exhibits this restraint that I find really unique, and I think it makes the song really cool and special. Don't Go Halfway is your third song, groovy rocker, like the breakbeat percussion, you definitely get an element of that in a number of songs on this record. And one of the things I'm really liking about this record is I don't want to necessarily say it's full-on lo-fi, but there's definitely a cool production element on this record that's giving all these songs kind of this, kind of garagey feel. And I really dig the way that's working throughout the entirety of this record. Come On You Know, your title track, is your fourth song. Great driving guitars on this song. I like the hand claps on this as well. Drums build in. The one thing I would say about this particular song, I found the chorus to be just a little underwhelming. I felt like there was more that could be done with it. Overall, I like the song, though. I like the psychedelic breakdown. It's got this great coda. There's some horns that come in on the end of this song. Reminds me of what they did on their last record, Dig Out Your Soul. But it's a good song. Come On You Know is your fourth track, leads into your fifth track, Too Good for Giving Up, and piano-driven ballad here. Probably one of the softer moments on the record. Opens up with just Liam and the piano, and then this thing kicks in nicely after the intro. Really like the way the instrumentation comes in there. It Was Not Meant to Be is your sixth song, your final track on the A side. This is there's definitely a big Beatles feel on this record at moments, and this is one of those moments for sure. Really like the breakbeat percussion on this. It kind of reminds me of just think of that kind of like Revolver era Beatles, but I love the bass. I love the harmonies on this particular song. It's really nicely done. Everything's Electric is your B-side opener, edgy rocker. I like the pre-chorus. It goes acoustic and then it rocks back into this chorus that's definitely pop driven. It's got a good dynamic as far as the different influences that are driving the verses and the chorus there. Your eighth song, Worlds in Need, is really liking the kick drum and the way this thing opens up. It's got this bluesy harmonica as well, reminded me of the Stones a lot. And then it turns into this light breezy track into the chorus. And I like the groove. It made me think of the song Desire by U2 as well, and I enjoyed that for that reason. Moscow Rules, your ninth song. It creeps in with these eerie strings and piano. I really like the opening of this track. Drum builds in for the chorus. It's got this subtle polka feel as well. It's really a very unique track, and some of that kind of fun experimentation that Liam is doing within that framework. There's definitely remnants of that Oasis sound, of that 90s Brit pop rock feel that he's so well known for. But I like this moment. I think that it's one of the more unique tracks on this record. I'm Free is your 10th track. There's a lot going on this song. I love the driving bass. It's got this rock and blues riff, and it just I like the way that riff that just dissolves into this reverb. It's just got this echoey sort of effect in the background. There's this reggae portion of the song that builds in after the first chorus. It's a very interesting, unique exploration of song structure. Really digging the way that it moves into Better Days. Your penultimate track is it's got these ambient Eastern influences. I really like the little bit of sitar and some other cool strings in this song. Works around this subtle breakbeat too. Remind me of more Beatles. I was thinking of Love You Too off of Revolver. There's elements of that track that I felt on Better Days here. And then your final track, Oh Sweet Children, is got this vocal intro over light synth. I love the mellow psychedelic groove on this track that builds in. Really a nice finish on this song. And if you're going to stream this thing, you're going to get two more tracks, The Joker and The Wave. But the vinyl portion on this thing, if you just want to buy the standard LP, which is what I'm going to please on this thing, there's a deluxe package that's a little on the expensive side. I like this record. I'm not loving it that much to spend $40 to $60 or $70 on it, but give me those first 12 tracks, at $20, and I'm pretty pleased with this project. I think that this is definitely the most experimental that Liam has been in his solo career, and I like the direction that he's turning in. I like that he's always had that hard edge about him while singing what are ostensibly soft love songs, but I feel like that softness is starting to to build out a little more in his exterior, and I look forward to seeing the way that plays out in live performances. Again, I think that dynamic is going to be unique as far as some contrast in those moments, and I hope you all enjoyed those live shows. If you have a chance to check those out this summer, we're going ahead and Vinyl Please, the standard edition of this record. Hope you find this review helpful. Hope you like this album as well. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this thing, do all the things to help me blow this project up in 2022, and stay tuned throughout the week for more album reviews. We will see you next time on the Beat Sessions.